team is just going to be to get better. That's our whole objective, and our whole focus was on just getting better. It wasn't on winning this or winning that or this is a big game. It was just every opportunity was a chance to get better, and it just took care of itself.
Go ahead.
Is that going to be the focus? What else is there? What the hell would you be doing this for if you wasn't to win?
Yeah. You know,
we're trying to win we're trying to win today. Who's going to get the better lunch? I mean, let's not make any misunderstandings about why we're here. This is all nice and dandy, but winning is what this thing is all about.
I'm so glad he's back.
Yes, 100%. Definitely courtesy goes to Tim McGowan for that.
Well,
because he killed it. And welcome back, Tom.
Yes, and we swept the corners and we swept Gus right on out of Duval County. Thanks to the gods. I'm Jay.
I'm Clay.
I'm Justin.
All right.
And thanks for joining us for the Circle Up Prowl Weekly, episode 13. This is the final episode of the season.
And, man, there's a lot to talk about. Doug Marrone. He's the
head coach.
They went all the way to the assistant head coach's room and found our head coach. It only took $300,000.
Is that how much that firm is?
I think corn fairies are not cheap.
Fair enough.
They hired Corn Ferry for a couple $100,000 to tell him to hire their assistant coach.
As a guy right down the road.
Yes, it is very ridiculous. There's a lot of speculation how everything went down. I mean, I'm sure we could dive into it a little bit more, but I mean, it's good and bad at the same time. The good, Gus is gone. Most of his staff is gone.
Yes.
The bad, I know a lot of people didn't really want any part of Gus's staff here.
Yeah, really just a symbolic thing. Just purge your system completely of everything Gus.
But
well, as we were here on the show last week, we just wanted to stink off the system, stink off the staff, which is understandable. But they got the money out of Corn Ferry, they did their due diligence because apparently they interviewed a crap ton of people. Supposedly even more that weren't even announced.
Yep, I heard that yesterday. But to listen, I don't know how many people are listening to our podcast specifically, but to listen to the actual interview or the announcement that was on Jaguars.com yesterday morning at about 9:55, he does not sound like Gus. And that is awesome.
You're not going to find many coaches that sound like Gus.
Yeah.
Especially not a late 40s or early 50s New Yorker.
So I wasn't really hot on the guy. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't really hot on the guy. And but just off that one presser, I became a bigger Doug Marrone fan. I don't know where my fandom lies, but I became a bigger Doug Marrone fan than before that presser.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously you hope for the best with all of it. But whenever the news first broke about all of it, I felt really not good about it. And ever since it broke, Tom Coughlin has been doing what he can to make me feel a lot better about it.
Right.
And as you guys heard in that little entrance clip, I mean, Tom Coughlin showed it almost immediately. I think in the press conference, like they was asked to Doug Marrone, and Doug Marrone just turns to look at Tom.
He started to say something, and Tom, it was very evident that Tom wanted to say something.
Tom had to get it off his chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He couldn't hold it back.
So, I mean, I do like Tom. I do like the fact that Tom is back in the fold. I'm a little hesitant to give him the whole keys to the franchise as what they did.
Yes, which they made it very clear the power structure does lie with Tom at the top.
Yeah, everything goes through him. Which, I mean, is kind of risky, but, I mean, with big risk comes big reward.
I don't think it's nearly as risky as keeping the power structure as it was.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. So you knew something had to be changed.
Yeah, I feel like you have much less risk with things in Tom Coughlin's hands than in, Doug Marrone, pretty decent coach, by what I can tell.
Yeah.
In just his hands and just Dave Caldwell's hands, I think you got higher risk.
Obviously, yeah.
Well, yes, without a doubt. Because, I mean, Tom has Super Bowl pedigree. Obviously, that already pole vaults him into the stratosphere in the NFL world.
Well, I mean, look at what he did building this franchise. And he was essentially the general manager here. He did all that work.
But
he just didn't manage the cap well.
But as we discussed earlier before the show, the drafts up in New York, the last couple of drafts, the last couple of free agent picks, they weren't stellar. I don't know how much input Tom had on that, or if it was just total GM. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I mean,
it's weird how mum
the
New York media was on why Tom Coughlin was gone.
Yeah, it was almost like, and that's crazy for New York to be quiet on something.
I don't think him and Jerry Reese had a very good working relationship. Yeah.
I can assume that.
Him and Ernie, of course, they got along much better. But obviously Ernie wanted to retire, so such.
Yeah, but I'm glad that they seem to, just in that one presser, that's all we really have to go by at this point. They seem to really play off each other very well. And
oh, yeah. I mean, well, they're both in the same area of the country. They both went to Syracuse.
Yeah, I mean, we got that to work off, and we got what's already happened. So, whenever the story first broke, Doug Marrone's the coach. Tom Coughlin's vice president of football operations. Dave Caldwell's still around doing something. And you didn't feel great about it.
Coffee.
They're like, well, all the defensive staff was told that they'll be able to stick around if Doug Marrone got the job. And then
yeah, then they went in to have a meeting with Executive Tom.
Yeah, and Executive Tom fired everybody except for one dude.
Yeah. Todd Wash and who was the other guy? Mike Rutenberg.
Yeah, I don't know about Rutenberg. I do know that Todd Wash is back now because they confirmed that finally. And so, the concern for me was continuity seems like the last thing this franchise needs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I was fine with no continuity.
Continuity for all the garbage.
Even though the defense looked good.
Ish.
But
Ish.
Comparatively.
No, well, okay.
Comparatively. I was fine with the change.
It was debatable that, I don't mean to interrupt you, but it was debatable on the defense. There were certain things that we did well, and there were certain things that we were just utter shit on.
And they're big things.
Oh, absolutely. I agree.
Like turnovers. If we didn't get them.
No, we don't apply pressure.
I think we got
no blitzing.
I think we got a total of 6 last year.
Did we?
I think
it was that many.
That seems high.
It seems real high.
I mean,
it seems like 5 too high.
Well, I know.
That's the way it appeared.
I know Jalen single-handedly got 2.
All right.
So,
but that's when he started freelancing.
Yes. But overall, after the dust settling, I am more confident in the Jaguars than I was last year or even 2 years ago, for that matter. So that definitely.
Well, just think about this example. Doug, when he went to Syracuse was 5-37 before he went there. When he took over, they were 25-25 during his tenure.
Which doesn't sound spectacular. That is remarkable in Syracuse terms.
Yes, exactly. Doesn't sound great, but he turned them around. Which is
took him to a bowl game.
Yeah, it took him to a few, I think.
Yeah,
and pretty decent ones. But it's still Syracuse football. They haven't been much of anything since Ernie Davis.
I mean, it's still the first winning record the Bills have had since 2004.
Yes, I believe so. So he had a 9-7 record, and that's when he decided to jet. But every time he's touched the team, knock on wood, he's had pretty manageable good success.
And like Justin and I discussed a couple nights ago, 8-8 would do it for our franchise at this point.
Yeah, it shouldn't.
No,
but
right now, 8-8
would be a godsend.
Yeah, because we haven't seen 8-8 since
almost 10 years.
Yeah, literally. 09, 10. When was it last time we saw 8-8? 10? 9?
2010, they went 500.
Yeah, I want to say.
We felt real good about that.
Oh yeah, we were ecstatic with that.
So, I'm very confident that Jackson will be through the roof if we are 500. Which is sad and dumb, but that's just how it is.
Well, I mean, because we're starved for something good. Even average at best, right?
Yeah, no, definitely.
But either way about the hire, however you feel about it, it all feels better because of TC being back in the fold. No matter who it was. You just add TC back into it.
And
there's sunshines and rainbows.
The level of control that he has would really concern me if he wasn't Tom Coughlin.
Right.
But like he shut down Doug Marrone on hiring a special teams coordinator, right?
Right, Donnie Henderson.
Yeah, and then that sucks. Except we got Joe DeCamillis, which is a great special teams coordinator.
Yeah, which I think was actually much better.
Yes,
which he's actually this is his second tour with us because he coached under JDR from 07 to 08.
He was here when we did that fake punt with Montel Owens against the Texans.
Sounds right.
And somehow the Texans didn't realize that Montel Owens was back to receive the punt.
Oh, those days.
You know, Adam Podlish, that short black guy. Adam Podlish. I don't know how it worked, but, you know.
Texans.
So Joe DeCamillis is cool in my book forever just because of that.
Right. No, I mean, he's renowned. He's been a pretty good coach.
I'm anxious to see the other side of the ball. Obviously, quarterback coach, defensive back coach, just because... Okay, for instance, Jalen Ramsey. He could obviously not stand the quarterback coach at all.
Dwayne Walker?
Yeah, Dwayne Walker. And neither did Deshaun Gibson. And neither did Davon House. So three out of the 5 guys that are on the field the ball all the time don't like you. That's a problem.
Yeah, it's an issue.
Well, it wasn't... I mean, actually what I heard
I think
was
it's
they
more
really
the
liked...
defense.
They supposedly really liked their positions coach.
Right. That's more what I've heard, too.
They were crapping all over the scheme.
Right.
Which hopefully changes. We have anything that says it will change, for sure.
Yeah, I think they really like
our gut feeling is like, I mean, it has to change, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how we feel. There's nothing.
There's no way you can keep that scheme.
There's nothing saying that it changes, though.
It's got to change.
Well,
it should.
Yes,
change.
It's going to change.
Yes, because Duraku came out a couple days ago, maybe yesterday, and saying that the Motto, and Leo are all dead.
Well, I believe someone actually asked Dave.
Yes, that's
just after the presser.
Yes, that's the
is that what it was?
That's what I'm referencing. That is dead. Thank God.
And they said, "What about these terms? Are we going to hear those?" He's like, "No, those terms are gone."
And
good. All right.
Yes, I like defensive end. I understand it. I know what it does.
Give me a regular 4-3.
Give me a balanced defense. Give me a Tampa 2.
Yeah, I guess Tampa 2.
It's not great, but I know it's something that he has a background in. Talking about Todd Walsh.
Sure. Just I want to get the most out of Jalen.
Yeah.
That's all.
And I want to get the most out of Unique. Hell, that guy was a fucking beast last year.
Yeah, you send pressure on the first down and then tackle on the third down.
And then on the other side of the ball, you had the quarterbacks coach, which seemed non-existent last year. To be honest, I think I could have told Dingbat to go to the bars on Saturday night and get lit.
Well, the quarterback coach was the offensive coordinator too, so
I thought we had a separate one last year. I thought we had a quarterback coach and an offensive coordinator.
We did have a separate one, but then they fired the offensive coordinator.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
And then he had to become the OC.
So that's the problem.
Well, I think I could have told Blake Bortles to go to the beach bars. That's only my point. I would have been like, all right, bud, you did good today in practice. Head off to the beach bars, get lit, come back Sunday morning bright and early.
I'm pretty sure Nathaniel Hackett wasn't helping with that, but maybe Greg Olson was since he told him not to go to California and get his train on.
Yeah, man. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's ignorant.
When that came out, that was like scratch.
I've let blackballs him somewhere in the league.
No, I hear he's going to be a part of one of the staffs out west. I can't remember which team.
That sounds appropriate.
Well, maybe Jared Goff will. Maybe Jared Goff will be Jared Goff.
Maybe he'll go back to Oakland.
Yeah, send him there to go fix Jared Goff. That'll go good.
Man.
Be good for one season. Then that's it.
Yeah, and not to trash Greg Olson, but he is like a one-hit wonder.
It's so weird.
Yeah, just send him in, do the work, and head on out.
I know.
Do his damage.
He goes from developing the talent and sending them in the right direction to sending them in the opposite direction.
Every place he's ever been.
Maybe he should be a quarterback coach. I mean, not coach, but like a trainer,
Maybe
like a
he
Tom
should
House.
just be like a one-night stand coach. Like, I'm only going to sign one-year deals.
Simple as that. Not too much interaction. Keep it very simple.
I have friends like that are like really good in small doses.
Yeah, I know a few people like that.
So,
We all definitely have one friend like that.
Yeah, I have
Minimize. What do you think about Jerry Sullivan on the outs? He was the first one that we got rid of.
That hurt a little bit.
Allen Robinson wasn't happy.
I know Allen Robinson wasn't happy. He tweeted out. I commented on it. No response. But I think it was. I think it was something that just because of the mediocrity of the wide receiver core last year, whether it was the coordinator's problem, I think you knew heads were going to roll regardless.
Okay.
And he was older.
I think it's a fresh blood situation. I don't think it's like Jerry did such a crap job, we got to get rid of him. I think it's they want fresh blood in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a situation where Tom probably feels like he knows better because one thing Tom Coughlin has been able to do anywhere he goes,
develop some damn good wide receivers.
He's been able to develop receivers.
Fair enough.
For sure.
Yeah. Victor Cruz, namely one of them, undrafted.
He Nix.
Yeah, he's had some
pretty
good luck.
Ruben Randall. He had like 2 good years up there.
RJ Sauer. I'm just kidding about that one.
Wow.
For the most part, his only failures in Jacksonville were Andre Rison and RJ Sauer.
But one of
Bad Moon Rison.
And yeah, Andre Rison was only a failure because of Andre Rison.
Exactly. Which I'm glad he was a failure because as soon as he was out, magic happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's still kind of painful.
Yeah, it is, but at this point, I don't care. I just want someone. If the job's done right, that's what I care.
Yeah.
Supposedly he's wanting Marrone to interview 3 guys for whatever position comes open. At least 3 guys.
Yeah, and I like it.
I mean, yeah, you should. I mean, that's doing your due diligence per se.
I love how everybody for the Jaguars back office is freaking out about Tom Coughlin coming back.
Oh,
before he even shows up, because apparently they were all like polos and dress shoes and stuff whenever he came up.
Oh yeah,
and I even heard
shirts tucked in.
Yeah, speaking of that, I even heard the Florida Times Union guys. They all even tweeted out. I got the presser a little early today. Tom is back.
Everyone was. It wasn't just the guys in the building. It was everyone. Guys from the local 1010, from 930, TU.
So I mean, he demands a presence, and I like that.
Oh yeah.
I definitely like that. I wonder about the ping pong tables. Do you think they're still there, guys?
Oh God, I don't know.
They're probably dude. I just wish it was during this. Right there at the end of the season, because they would have been outside in the front. He could have set them on fire and made a statement. I would have liked that.
The ping pong tables are probably gone.
And really have everyone hate him. Then he's not the coach, so who cares?
The ping pong tables are probably gone. Probably the Xbox 360s are probably gone.
Maybe Xbox Ones, but who cares? All of them. Just torch them. They probably still got 360s in there.
You only get PS2s.
Yeah, they get PS2s. They're rocking the Sega Dreamcast.
Oh man, they'd be lucky.
Whew.
Love me some Dreamcast. He's definitely like, that's what leadership is a guy who gets that kind of reaction before he was even in the building.
Yes.
And the reaction from not only the people that are getting paid by Shah Khan, but the reaction from other outlets, whether they be news media.
Just Northeast Florida.
Yeah, just anyone that knows him or is in the building. People were rushing be there on time because there's a number of people that are in the media that are kind of slack asses, should I say, or just not very punctual. Let me rephrase that. And they were tripping over their own feet to get there, making sure they got there on time.
I heard
because they did not want to get chewed out.
Yeah.
Coughlin time is in effect. There's a new head boss in town, undoubtedly.
And I wonder, I think Jalen, and I wonder which player is going to get bucked first. Or bucked first, I guess I should say.
Oh, God, I'm so worried about...
What do you mean?
The culture clash.
There you go.
Okay.
Because these guys are coming out of a Gus Bradley culture.
Oh, yeah.
And that's all they know.
Mm-hmm.
One of the young guys, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, not necessarily the young guys, because I think the last like 2 draft classes are more angry at Gus than the 4-year draft class or the 4-year free agents.
Jalen did not seem like he was fully committed to the Gus Bradley thing because it lost. So I think he'll
be fine. Oh yeah, he'll be fine.
He'll embrace TC. But somebody like, Telvin Smith has been around Gus Bradley long enough for it to wear off on him.
Yeah, sadly, I mean, he's a Gus guy.
Yes, but at the same time, though,
but he likes to win.
Even Telvin Smith, coming from the college that he came from, winning is what you do.
Yeah, they are players that came in talking about winning. Whereas,
and he was one of them.
Right. Whereas the coach, winning wasn't the top of the list.
No, it was get better.
Yeah, it was obvious.
It was sweep the corners.
I would bring up Roy Miller, but I don't think he's going to be around.
No, probably not.
I say you take his contract and just hand it over to Avery.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
Pretty much.
Might as well. Status quo.
They can honestly afford to keep both, but I don't think they will.
He was only in the first year of his deal last year, so possibly, because I think it was a 4-year, but I mean, that's another podcast in general.
Yeah.
But
now, how much influence are we going to be seeing when it gets to...
That's my question right here. I already know where this is going.
Okay. How much influence are we going to start seeing when it starts going into the combine and so forth? Are we going to see more influence from Dave doing Dave things, as we've seen for the past 4 years? Mm-hmm. Or are we going to see more TC influence?
Well...
Combine won't matter. You'll see a lot of Dave Caldwell.
Yes, I agree. 100%.
You're not going to see Tom out there with the stopwatch?
No.
You don't think so?
No, because Tom said this is just pro days. Tom said he was not going to go to many pro days. So I would assume that he wouldn't go. I mean, you might see him there. I don't think he's going to be there the whole time. I think he'll be like there, like the first day or maybe the second day or whatever day that there was a player that Dave has suggested that they get.
He'll be busy finishing the deal for Jason Pierre-Paul.
I like it. Seven-fingered wonder.
It's happening.
That'll be the connection.
Yes, that was
re-signing Prince.
Yeah, Prince is getting re-signed. Jason Pierre-Paul is getting re-signed, and some other player the 10-10 was talking about earlier today.
To me, it's more about a connection of like a team that needs pass rushers and a guy that can do it.
That's the thing. He's always had an emphasis on pass rush.
Yeah, and just load up on it.
Yeah.
He loads up on it.
And good offensive line.
Yeah.
Well, and that's because Tom said that he wasn't going to go to pro days. I feel like he's not.
Pro days are different than the combine.
Yes,
he loves the combine.
I understand
because
that.
he's usually always there clicking that watch away.
I understand that, but I just don't think. I think he's got to broaden his horizon, so to speak. He's not just over that. He's over other things too now.
True.
And I'm not saying that you won't see him in the press box, like you normally do at the combines.
It remains to be seen. It's coming up shortly, but I would be shocked if you don't see him.
Yeah.
In his little sports jacket. Click, 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 half asleep.
I think he'll happily let Dave Caldwell do the groundwork for him here.
That's what I'm thinking, too.
And I think that's kind of what Dave Caldwell's focus is. I feel like Tom Coughlin being in the building is great for Dave Caldwell. He doesn't look like it when you look at the press conference.
No, it does. He does not look happy.
He looks like a kid in trouble, like a kid that just got yelled at right before going out with his parents.
And I also think in that
he looks like he's been grounded.
And there lies another thing, because I don't feel like they would have kept Dave Caldwell if Tom hadn't said to keep Dave Caldwell.
I don't know if that had much to do with it.
Because
I may be wrong.
Because I think that Dave didn't do that bad on the whole scheme of things. His free agent classes remain to be seen.
Right.
But his drafting, hell, you're not going to tell me that you would have drafted anyone besides Luke Jokel. You're going to either draft Eric Fisher or Luke Jokel. Hands down. So you can't fault the guy for drafting, quote, the best player available in the first draft.
Well, that draft was trash anyways.
Yeah, the whole draft was trash. I think the first good player was Ziggy Ansah that year.
Yeah, not many after him.
But it's not really his draft that I'm looking at. There's a few spots you can critique, but definitely his free agent attack. But he still gets the responsibility for the quarterback and the coach that he picked. That's on him.
Yes, and I totally agree. But I feel like he's as good a scout. I think honestly that's what he's going to be doing as a head scout.
Who?
Dave.
He was a standout scout in Atlanta, and that's how he ended up here. He was becoming head of scouting, right?
Yeah.
College personnel or whatever it was, yeah.
And so this is kind of putting him back in the role that he's best at.
Yes and no.
Because Tom has the final say.
Yes, Tom does the final say, but I still believe he's still going to be doing all the general manager duties for the most part. With Tom basically signing off on certain things.
Oh, yes. I agree. I agree to a point.
Not even maybe all things, but if there's something they come to an agreement on or disagreement, he'll step in.
After seeing the tiny bit we have to work with, I think Tom's way more involved in that.
I'm not saying he's not. I believe he's going to be there.
With Doug Marrone. Doug Marrone is much more established and experienced than Dave Caldwell at this point in his career. To expect him to be less hands-on with Dave Caldwell, no way.
No, I'm not saying he's going to be less hands-on. You're misinterpreting what I'm saying.
Well, I think he's got more to worry about. I think that's what he's trying to say.
Right.
He's not just worried about college personnel. He's got to worry about a whole organization.
Yeah.
There's like a pyramid. Think about it like that. There's like a new spot for Tom, obviously, because that's where he's got a new little position. Dave is still doing his job, essentially. Just instead of looking at Gus and going, this is what we're doing, or not even looking at Gus, just making the decision, he now has to go back and forth between Tom, and Tom has the final decision. He's still doing his work, doing his due diligence himself, with his scouts, with his pro player personnel guy, college guys, all that stuff. But the final decision, he has to look over at Tom and say, what do you think?
The only wrench I'm going to throw into that is, where does Tony fit now?
He still has his analytics people right there. I'm sure it's still going, hey, they present him with the stuff.
Does that go to both people now?
I would imagine.
Okay.
I just don't know where Tom is with analytics. I would imagine he likes it, though.
Our last draft seemed very...
It was very, very
analytic driven.
I know it was.
It was a great draft. So
yeah.
Give me more of that shit. Give me more Sheldon Day. Give me more Unique. Give me more Jalen. Jalen was no-brainer, but...
Yeah, Jalen...
But Unique Ngakoue was not necessarily a no-brainer. Like, he was...
No.
He looked good in some ways. He looked a little undersized, and there was some other problems. So, taking him and hitting on him, that's great. Getting Sheldon Day as late as they did, I mean, that looks like that was great.
Oh, yeah, that was very impressive.
Got him in.
I mean, apparently Todd Wash was hitting the table for Unique Ngakoue back in the second round.
Yep, I heard
he
that.
was really, really wanting him bad throughout the draft.
But the analytics backed up every pick we made.
No, I'm not denying that. I'm just saying he was adamantly wanted him.
So what is Tony's position? I hope it's a voice that's heard. Because I think Tony Khan gets a lot of bad rap.
I would be very shocked if Tony's voice even goes away any.
Oh, yeah, because he's gonna be inevitably he will be the future owner of the actual Jaguars.
The only voice I would imagine would kind of slim down in the room, which probably would slim down a lot, hopefully, Chris Polian.
Yeah, because Chris Polian,
he's the one burning your free agents,
the veterans. And I guess Dave had to sign off on all of those.
Yeah,
so that makes Dave.
People love him because of his last name.
Yeah. I'm not a fan, I'll be honest. Nothing personal. But
yeah, it is. It's all personal.
No, it's
really
all
personal.
Not.
Come on.
My favorite
if he was bringing in good free agents.
Yeah, true enough.
I'll give you, he's got a few, but some are no-brainers.
My favorite back office guy who makes everybody else look like a genius is
John Izek. Yep.
Izek is the dude.
Yes, he is.
I imagine he's the money guy. So I imagine he's the guy that came up with that Kelvin Beachum contract, which was just
brilliant.
Amazing.
And yes, he is one of the guys that I assume almost post haste, right after the season is over, is re-upped or the contract. I don't know how that contract works.
If Tom needs to reevaluate that one, he'll figure that one out quick.
I'm pretty sure Tom will get that one because Tom knows he needs a cap guy.
Yeah.
So he'll be like, I don't know what your name is. Get over here.
But I don't even know how that contract worked. How that contract was even written. I mean, it was like 1 year and then 4 more years. I don't know, because you don't re-up a guy that already got 4 years extension.
Oh yeah, Kelvin. That's a done deal.
That's a no-brainer option.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't think you have to think twice about Kelvin coming back.
Yeah, not at all.
I would love to see them work that magic with Tyrod Taylor. Give him here's my sales pitch. Give him a contract, and he's paid good money, and he's given a legitimate chance to fight for the starting job. And if he wins it, he's got that 1 year deal with the option for it to become a 4-year deal, and he's paid like a legit NFL quarterback. Or it's a 1 year deal, you don't win the starting job, and you're like the highest paid backup quarterback.
Yep.
And then you go out and get a job somewhere else.
Well, almost the highest paid is Tony Romo. There you go.
Tony Romo won't be a backup too much longer. He'll be going somewhere.
We all know that.
Probably somewhere indoors.
Yeah.
Okay, with that being said, we just got one more little thing to talk about, but this will be our last boldcast of the Circle Up Prowl Weekly for the football season until we restart for next season. Probably right after the draft, or maybe going to free agency, actually. Take it back. Post Super Bowl. We'll kind of redo some things a little bit and get it going. But looking forward to it. It's been a great season. Well, for doing this is our first year of doing this. Football season-wise, it's been another trying, monotonous, tiresome season.
I better re-up my tickets like a stupid idiot, though.
Yeah. Ugh. At least you didn't get playoff tickets after your team got eliminated. Look at it that way.
There's always a silver lining.
Now, I've got one last thing to say before we wrap this up. My apologies to the city of San Diego. Sorry you lost your team. Sorry it's going to LA. But keep the Jaguars' names out of your mouth.
Absolutely.
This is our damn team.
The only memories you're going to have of the Jaguars are them coming and no showing in San Diego. That's
Pretty
all
much.
you get.
That's it.
They're not going to no show as the San Diego Jaguars, though.
No.
Yeah, absolutely. Twitter was ablaze today with those kind of comments, memes, things of that nature. If you remotely thought there was ever a chance, you obviously are the slightest of NFL fan.
Well, yeah, you're very uninformed of the knowledge of what's going on with the Jacksonville Jaguars, obviously.
Yeah.
That's one. Two, why don't you vote on a referendum and keep your own damn team?
Yeah, absolutely.
Instead of trying to worry about shopping someone else's. But it irritated me because the same thing happened with St. Louis last year.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, guess what, Kudos? Try to work on keeping your own damn team, but don't worry about trying to get mine. Kick rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, go fuck yourself, San Diego.
Pretty much.
Yeah. You guys didn't come up with the money, not us.
So, with that being said, thanks for joining us. It's been a fun season of doing this. And to San Diego.
From the entire Channel 4 News team, I'm Veronica Corningstone.
And I'm Ron Burgundy. Go fuck yourself, San Diego. Ah!
Good night.
From the entire